What's up, everybody? So I wasn't going to record today because last time I was fishing this pond I didn't catch anything. Temperatures changed. We just had like 4 inches of rain come down. Maybe not quite that much. It's been raining for like 6 hours. But I just got this 9-inch 6 cent glide bait. I've never caught anything on a glide bait before, but I just slayed a 4-pounder on this. So I was like, well, let me see if I can do this again and then maybe get it on video, because that was a pretty unique catch. He was 3 pounds, 15 ounces. So right there at 4 pounds, I'm gonna say it was a 4-pound. But I was just working it down this grass line. And I guess the way he hit, because just doing a very slow retrieve, just letting it kind of glide very wide at the grass line. I wasn't expecting it, and when he hit, it pulled really, really good. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me get a little bit of video of it. There's another one. There's another one. Hell yeah. Damn. This one might be slightly bigger than the last one. Guys, I've never fished glide baits before, especially baits this big, and this is just absolutely wearing them out. Oh my goodness. Look at that bad boy, fellas. It's February 15th. I'll get temps and everything in just a minute. This one is definitely slightly larger than the last one. Look at that monster, guys. Look at that. Let's get a weight on this guy. So we are 5 pounds dead on money. So a 3 right at 4 and then a 5. Man, 2 very nice fish back to back on that glide bait. They were not kidding. Man, that was pretty. Let me get a picture with my phone too. In virtually the same stretch. Oh. Heck yeah, fellas. Man, just to be able to catch that too. So again, I've never fished a glide bait, and some people, I've had one dude, I say some people, I had one dude give me shit because I really like 6 Sense products, but I'm telling you, man, like I've had a lot of success with like their big mag booster, if I'm not saying that correctly, I'm sorry. But they're big worms, got a lot of action. I run those on like a shaky head rig. Man, I have caught some really nice bass on that. Again, y'all just saw a 5-pounder. Let's see if we can do it again. We'll run this bank here. And that was at the last second too. Like that was like, I was about to pull it out of the water and he hit it at the last second. So this pond is about 5, I guess this is going on its 6th year. And we've never put anything in this one. It's a creek-fed pond, and they've been growing on average about 1 pound a year. So it's on track. I was concerned not too long ago because we had otters get into the pond, and they usually will destroy a fish population. And they didn't take out all the big ones because there's a 4 and a 5, so I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna do a walk around a little bit and keep fishing. I'm kind of doing just like a slow with a slight pause, letting it kind of get a big wide glide. Now, this is a slow sinker too, I believe. So if I just let it pause, it'll slowly just sink. Right now it looks like it's about a foot, foot and a half in the water column. No! Well. No, my knot broke. Well, I know where it's at. I can always go swimming for it on another day. Damn. So we're back. So what just happened is I had too light of line, which I was nervous about that. I had on that's my heavy action rod. So I have, I think, either 30 or 40 pound braid on it. So I wasn't worried about that, but I have 15 pound fluorocarbon leader on it. And that's what popped when I threw that big glide bait. So the intermission, I went back to 6 cents because they still have their 60% off deal going on right now. And I ordered 2 more of that bone color, and then they had 2 other colors. Then I went ahead and ordered a couple more because that bite is fun. It seems to be a big fish bite. And here I am like completely messing up these casts. So I went and ordered a few more. So I got 4 on the way of those, especially right now when they're only at 20 bucks a piece. They're normally $50. So if y'all want one, go on there before they end their closing sale. I don't know if it's just older products because they got new ones on the way in, so they got to make room or what. But it is, when it gets warmer, I will go swim in this pond and see if I can find it. But that's about 5 feet of water. So the water would have to be pretty clear for me to even attempt to find it. Because this water gets clear, but not quite that deep. So, but either way, it could just be a loss. And if that's the case, that's okay. That's what happens. I know, I knew better. I will probably get like 25 pound fluorocarbon and tie it on to that braid to make sure that it's a lot more stable. I mean, hell, it gave me a 4 and a 5 pounder, so I'm not upset. But in the meantime, I was like, well, I don't even know if anything else is working, or because I had so much hard times trying to catch anything last time I was out here. I used this DT6 a minute ago before I turned the camera back on, and I caught just a little, like half pound, nothing big. So I figured, well, we got to at least close out this episode, but we'll see if we can catch any more fish. Man, I was really hoping to get to use that glide bait some more today. Got one. There we go. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. At least for this rod anyways. No. maybe a pound, maybe a pound and a half. Come here, gotcha. Huh? He fought good. But they are definitely hungry right after all this rain. Like, it's been raining since last night, and it rained a lot, so we'll keep fishing for a minute. And here comes more rain. Try to get a little bit higher in the water column, because it right here at the end, it like really gets, there's a lot of grass, probably like 5 feet up, or all right, let's get over there. Maybe I just had to switch over because my internal storage just got full, so I had to switch over to the SD card. So I need to go over and delete a lot of the older videos that I have in here, and to make room for my new ones, which I'm glad I went ahead and bought an SD card so I'd have some room in this, but I'll crop it down. Still trying to figure out the editing. I'm still new to the YouTube, new to the video editing, so never been a big tech savvy person, but figuring it out. Oh, right in that. There's just so much. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I'll tilt it down a little bit. I think you can. I think it picks it up. You see all that dark green, just weed, like slime. I guess you can call it seaweed. It's fresh water, but it just gets on everything. That's why I also running that glide bait. It was nice because it really didn't get caught up in the treble on that for whatever reason, but it gets all up in this. Over here that's a bit shallower in the middle where the creek was originally dug out, where the pond was being built. It kind of like serpentines from that corner right over there through the pond is on this area. That's probably about 5.5, maybe 6 in some areas, but for the most part it's about 4 feet through here. And then with this being a DT6, it's only diving, or it's diving 6 feet, so it's diving to basically the bottom almost if I go too fast. It looks like there's a lot of gunk out in the middle too that washed out. Yeah, I mean, as soon as it hit the water, it pretty much got gunked up. Let me go over here in this dirty water. You can see it coming in. Guarantee you about tomorrow, the whole pond will look like that. It's muddy as hell. Yeah, it's like it's almost instant when I get in the water. It just stops rattling. It gets caught up in shit. Yep. I'll try one more over here, then I'm gonna go back that way, because I don't think I'm gonna have much success over here with being so shallow and so dirty. Everything's washed down from the creek. So I am going to the fishing expo in Cartersville this coming up weekend. So this Saturday, I plan on going up there. So I haven't seen but maybe one YouTube video of the Georgia Expo, which I think it's probably the same. It's definitely the same one. It's the NOE, NOE. I think they say it's NOE Fishing Expo. So there's one here. There's one in South Carolina. I think it's Gainesville, South Carolina. Yeah, this is gross, man. It's just not. But anyways, I'm excited about going. I have never been to any fishing expo for that matter. I've been to some hunting ones in the past, but I mean, that was years ago. Yeah, I'm done with this area. I keep getting either grass or leaves every time I I'm gonna make one more cast that way and see if it's any different. Like it would rut. Yeah, like, nope. All right, let's get out of here because it is not liking all this grass. So I'm probably gonna do a video for next week at the expo. Not very long. I'm trying to make it short, sweet. I mainly do kayak fishing and some pond fishing, so I'm not really looking to do boats, but I'll walk around, see what I can see, kind of bring you guys along, let you guys watch the video. So see if you want to go next year. It's open to the public. I think it's like $12 for one day, or you can pre-register online. I think it's like $22 or $25 for the weekend. But the first 200 people get free gear. When they say gear, I imagine probably like either, you know, shirts or hats or maybe even some fishing lures, stuff like that, if I had to guess. Either way, that's pretty sweet. And they do raffles. I think once every hour they're doing a raffle. Now, I don't know if you get drawn on a raffle and you're not there, do you still get the raffle? Because it's like, it's not the numbers, they draw your name and stuff. So I don't know if they'll send it to you or what the deal is with that, but that'd be cool. It'd be sweet to find out how they do that exactly. And then just going and seeing everything. And I know I saw Native Kayak, Crescent, Minn Kota was gonna be there. It'd be cool to see the little Tiny Boat Nation guys too. I think they're gonna be there. I watched a lot of their videos before I really got into the kayak side of it, but they turn these little John boats into like basically mini bass boats if you've never watched them. They're pretty sweet. They put a lot of time, a lot of work into those. But I think they're actually hosting the one in is it Gainesville or Greenville, South Carolina? I'm not 100%. I'd have to look again. I hope I'm not telling you guys wrong. But anyways. Damn. I may switch baits again, but all my rods are over there. I just got hooked up on a 6th underspin. It's not doesn't feel like a very big one because it's a very light tackle. But oh well, no, it's okay. It's about maybe a pound or two. Those little underspin, little baby underspin too. All right, let's get him close. I'll show you guys. Pound, two, maybe two at most. Not bad. But see, little baby underspin works well. Just use it on some 8-pound test. Let's try it again. This damn wall seems to be the place today because I've caught majority of my fish on this wall. I'm back in the grass. Man, but I will say come springtime, like May, April to June probably, man, the topwater bite on this pond is awesome. So some whopper poppers, man, they will destroy some whopper poppers. Oh, there's another one. Yep, there we go. That might actually be a crappie. Yep, crappie. Which I was very curious if we had any in the pond because it's been a minute since I've seen any. But healthy. So the bass will have a really good food source. Come on, guy. Which, if I go catfishing some this summer, I'll come out here with this maybe and get some catfish bait, live catfish bait. I don't know how many we have in here. I know they breed extremely fast. So we probably got way more than I'm thinking, but that's the second one I've only ever caught out of here in 5 years. So, but I have seen the schools of the baby ones. I just assumed that they all get eaten by the bass pretty quickly. Well, again, another 6th Sense product. Definitely recommend. Like I said, it is. I've had a lot of success with their stuff. If you want to rag on them, but their stuff works. I will continue to be a customer of 6th Sense and try out their products because they work. When they don't have grass in it. That's the problem, coming back on this side, getting all up in that grass again. Yep, all right. I'm gonna keep running this little micro underspin. I think it's technically for crappie, but I did catch that bass on it, caught that crappie on it. So I'm gonna keep running with it. Plus I caught one on that DT6 and 2 fish so far on this. So, plus I do like occasionally running super light tackle and having some fun, even with the smaller fish. I'm gonna try to go to this corner that I was walking to with the glide bait, but that went in the water. But I usually have good success with the poles in the water is actually the property line. So the pond was built a lot by my father-in-law at the very end. he had to hire some guys to come in, especially build that dam, because they had to dig it out because it was very sandy dirt. So they had to dig out to the clay, which they ended up having to dig like 20 feet down. But anyway, so he dug a lot of this out himself, and all the things you see, the gazebo he built himself. Like when I say himself, I meant by himself. And then all the stuff, the plants and everything, he's planted himself, kind of making their own little oasis out here. But the poles are the property line, and when the pond got put in, that used to all this, of course, was land, and that was the property line. And usually when you water, if you have access to the water from your property, you have access to the whole pond. But we didn't want whoever bought that house to have access to the full pond. So I mean, of course, if he's in that area, he throws over here, we throw over there. It's not a big deal. But as far as like going out on the pond, because the rest of the property besides this little corner is all my father-in-law's. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So they signed some kind of agreement that basically states that, that it was cool for them to dig out the side of his property, to flood his property, so he can have access to that side of the pond. And he has to stay physically on that side of the pond. So if he wants to put his canoes or boat, he can, scroll puddle out here and cast out here. That's not a big deal. But we stay on our side, he stays on his side. And if you got a rod that can cast in there like that right there, it's not a big deal. So same thing on his, and his little dock he stands on, he casts all the way to the bank on the other side a lot of times. But no, we actually looked at buying that house. That house was like 10 acres, I think, because it came up for market when my wife and I were looking for buying a house. And it ended up, it had like, you can tell it had some moisture issues, and it was kind of musty and moldy smell, and with her allergies, we just couldn't do it. So anyways, here's how well this underspin is working in this more murky water on this side, as far as being able to be seen. This little bitty one anyways. Well, if I do end it here, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and thank you guys for watching and viewing and supporting the channel if you do. If not, hit that like and subscribe, and you guys have a good one.